Welcome to this breakdown. My name is Coach Pyper. We are going to look at how Duke came back possession by possession in their 23-point comeback against Louisville. Starting off with 9 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the second half. Duke was down 23, and they slowly but surely came back. Here we can see an early pin down from Zion Williamson on Cam Reddish. The screen transition kind of cut it out, but that allowed them to get it back to 20. Duke started really to apply full court pressure and inserted Jordan Goldwire into the game. Here we can see them applying that kind of 2-2-1 pressure, and we can see how Jones and Goldwire are on a string here and working together and really putting pressure on the defense. A bad closeout by White, a bad closeout by Zion, and we get a driving kick, but Zion is such a freak athlete, he ends up recovering and blocks a shot. We get an extra pass, and then a good floater by Louisville ends up just missing the shot. So you can see they had good chances to score there and extend the lead. So still 20-point game. Zion attacks, draws two defenders. Cam Reddish does a good job of relocating and ends up just missing the wide open three. You can see Louisville is really kind of controlling the pace, and that's normal for most Chris Mack teams, controlling the pace, controlling the tempo. You can see Duke in their 2-3 zone. A little bit of pressure. We get a weird thrown ball. I would never throw that ball in the backcourt there. Just a completely blown layup by Goldwire. Here we get 4-on-3. All we got to do is read where the defense is going to help from. We get an open corner three in transition, standstill, ends up just missing the shot. So Duke coming back down the other way. We're going to see basically they're in their 5-out offense with no big on the floor. Zion is the 5. Little handoff to Cam Reddish. Zion with the offensive rebound off the miss and gets fouled. So that makes it 59-40 after the free throw. Duke is in their pressure, kind of stunting and forcing Louisville to speed up a little bit and put a little bit of pressure. Here we get a almost a back tap steal by Jones. Then Duke flows into their 2-3 zone. In their 2-3 zone, you can see that the middle is wide open. So we get the ball to the middle, the defense collapses, and we get a kick out for a wide open three. Just ends up missing a very good look there from Louisville from 3. Cam Reddish, trail man in transition, knocks it down. Gets it down 59-43, cuts it to 16, and that's an important play to remember that he was the trail man in transition there, because that's going to come up later in the breakdown. Here we can see a little bit of Duke allowing them to run ahead and trail from behind. Trey Jones almost gets a steal and then flow back into the 2-3 zone. On this possession, they get the ball in the middle of the floor, and Duke does a good job collapsing inside, but you can see that we're a little bit too far inside. That leads to an open three for Louisville in the wing, and that keeps Louisville's lead 62-43, up by 19 with 6.5 left. Duke comes back down on offense, basically just running normal flow here. Zion with the ball at the top of the key, fakes the handoff, rips through two defenders, gets fouled for the and one. To cut the lead 62-46 with 6:22 left. Duke's pressure still impacting the game a little bit. Goldwire and Trey Jones doing a really good job kind of stunting and faking. We get a steal here, a pass to Jones for a layup. Cuts it to 14, 62-48 after the stoppage in play that allows Duke to set up the press. So Duke setting up the press here really forces Louisville to make tough decisions. Here we can see how two defenders work on a string. Jones does a good job recovering and forces Louisville to call their second to last timeout here, which is not good when Duke's making a run. That will come back into play because they're forced to burn an extra timeout they probably didn't need to. Here we can see Trey Jones getting his hand on the ball and a good steal. Ends up missing the layup, kind of loses the ball. What I love here about Zion's reaction, as soon as the Louisville player loses sight, he pounces on the ball, gets a steal, and ends up getting fouled in transition and misses the layup, but ends up converting both free throws to cut it to 62-50. So getting free throws is allowing Duke to set up their pressure and really forcing Louisville to play full court and handle that press and see if they can make easy decisions and make good decisions and kind of slow the game down and burn a little bit more clock. Duke's 2-3 zones really giving them some problems. Zion's length at the 5 has been really key. Here you can see all 3 defenders are back. Watch Cam Reddish here get his hand in the passing lane, and Zion swallows up the ball, kicks to RJ Barrett, who Euro steps through 2 defenders for the layup finish, cutting the lead 62-52 with 5:06 left. Again, we get a little bit of pressure here from Duke, and a big thing for the press, even though they get a foul here, is to continue that pressure and just basically continue to make shots. As you continue to make shots, you can set up the press, or continue to get fouled, you can set up the press. So that's 64-52. Duke with the ball coming back down. You see a little bit of a pin down from Zion there. Nothing really there. RJ fakes a handoff. Cam Reddish is going to be taking a really deep 3 here, ends up missing the shot, and goes off of Louisville. On this baseline out of bounds, we can see RJ pass the ball to Zion, who's going to hand off back. We'll get a little kick back to Zion, and the Louisville defender reaches in for no reason, trying to get a steal there. The lead gets cut to 10 after the Zion free throws. It allows Goldwire and Trey Jones to set up their little pressure and keep giving Louisville guards problems. You can see them working on a string here, how one gets beat, the other one kind of recovers. You can see Cam is going to jump and get a blow by here. We get basically everybody packed inside. We get a kick to the corner for a corner 3, and Louisville ends up just missing the 3. Zion boards, and we're out in transition. Early attack from Zion, gets fouled and 1, cuts the lead to 7 after the made free throw. And again, these free throws are really big because we can set up the press and force that pressure and just keep getting in Louisville's head, planting those seeds of doubt. We get a little tap here from Goldwire out of bounds, allows the press to be set up again. Now here, I like how McMahon does a good job ripping his arm under and swimming under, and draws the foul from Goldwire, and that's free throws for Louisville. Much needed score. Little handoff here to Reddish. Ends up shooting a little step back and ends up getting fouled. He actually got undercut on that one, and he gets undercut again, and they don't call it, so that was interesting. Misses the last free throw, but the lead is down to 7 with 4 minutes left. Same little pressure there from the top 2 guards. You know, a little trap here in the corner. Zion almost gets a steal. Louisville recovers, kind of pulls it back out, and then makes a little bit of a dumb play here. RJ Barrett gets in the passing lane and then gets a steal. I love how he slows down in transition here, absorbs a little contact, and goes up and finishes the layup, even though the contact wasn't called, to cut it to 5 with 3.5 left. And now it's pretty much game on. I mean, 5 points in 3.5 minutes is nothing, and Louisville gets a timeout. After the timeout, you can see Duke still in that little bit of a pressure. Looks more like a 1-2-2 zone type, back to their 2-3 zone here after timeout. Maybe giving a little bit of a different look since they probably prepared for it. So here you can see the 2-3 zone of Duke. The middle is going to be open. Even though we hit the middle, you can see that the hands from Goldwire end up getting in the way, and Zion gets the ball. A little bit of an early handoff here to Reddish is covered. We just throw it above McMahon, and Cam Reddish ends up hitting a kind of hanging ISO 3. When you have good talent like that, that's what allows you to score like that if you're Duke. Similar pressure, that 1-2-2 look. Here you can see Reddish up there now in the pressure. What I like here is the Duke recovery. All 3 players basically sprinted back and are kind of forcing Louisville to make some really tough passes and tough decisions, but without fouling, which is a really important part. So Louisville kind of gets the ball here. You can see how both Duke players are kind of caught in between on the weak side here, and Louisville hits a much needed 3 to put them back up 5 with 2.5 left. Duke coming back down offensively. We get a little bit of a swing, and then watch Cam Reddish come off this here. He actually gets undercut and landed on here, turns his ankle a little bit. Zion slips and falls going for the ball. Trey Jones puts a little pressure on, but that wet spot forces the Louisville defender to fall. We get a steal and a score. Back to that 2-2-1 action for Duke, putting early pressure. Just, you know, getting Louisville out of their comfort zone. You can see they're not handling the press well at all. In that 2-3 zone, you can see the middle is extremely open. They run it like Syracuse runs it. We can see them pushing the wings down. The top guards will push the wing down. Zion does a good job covering the high post, and then just his presence alters McMahon's shot. like crazy there. You can see that crazy kind of reverse throw. We get Cam Reddish trailing in transition here, a little between the legs pass from RJ Barrett, and he buries the 3 in transition to tie the game, 69-69. We get that same pressure and a little bit of a back tap, and Louisville turns the ball over with 1:16 left. So Duke coming back down, a little bit of an early handoff to Reddish, maybe a little bit of a rush shot here, but he was feeling it, ends up just missing. So it's still tie game with a minute left. Louisville coming back down. It wasn't a bad decision by Duke because you get a little bit of a 2-for-1 action and make Louisville play a little bit of clock, and you're going to get the ball back with at least 1 or 2 scoring opportunities. So here's that 2-3 zone. I love what Louisville is patient here. Watch how they just get 3 simple passes and 1 and 2 and 3 and an open 3 on the wing. Just end up missing it. So another great look from Louisville, and Duke ball coming back down, and we're going to get a timeout called and a little bit of action set up by Coach K here. So after timeout, you can see them just kind of getting the ball in. They're going to basically give the ball to Zion, similar to their Horns 4 call that they've been running for Zion at the elbow. They get him lined up ISO here. He's going to either have an advantage or attack and go right into a dribble handoff. Cam Reddish gets downhill, gets called for the charge initially. After review, you can see the Louisville defender, he was inside the restricted area, so they end up giving free throws to Duke. 2 free throws, and Cam Reddish nails both of them. Although he was out of control, you cannot be in that restricted area. So puts Duke up 2 with 14 seconds left. Louisville ball coming back down. And you got to think, if you're Louisville here, put Duke in a ball screen. You can see Goldwire doing a good job staying attached. Great move by Louisville with the step back. Just misses the pull-up jumper for the tie, and Zion gets the rebound to seal the win for Duke. So that's it for this breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like breakdowns like this, I do film room episodes where I watch full basketball games, both college and pro, breaking the games down, looking at how the sets and how teams won, how teams lost, and certain things like this. If you have any questions, please hit me up on Twitter at halfcourthoops, and I'll catch you guys next time.